right, so we are going to draw our real deal cow today, or bull, whichever one you want to do. We're going to either do the flowers in the hair or the horns. So we're going to do our step-by-step, and then I'm going to show you how we are going to put the sky behind the cow using either warm colors, orange and yellow, or cool colors, blue and purple. So first of all, we have to draw our cow out. So here we go. We have already practiced this, so I'm not going to go as slow. Remember, you're going to come down to the bottom of the page. But remember, you want to leave room for his lips and his body that's going to come off the page. But you don't want to go too far up because we got to leave room for the horns and the head. So we're going to come to about here on the page, and we're going to slant up. And I'm going to use a white oil pastel. You will be using pencil. And then I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to slant up. All right, we're going to put those little half circles. Now, I'm not going to fill this in because I'm going to be filling it in with black. But if you don't have to fill it in either. I'll remind you that these are actually going to be completely filled in black. All right, remember that wavy line? Okay, remember that YW. We're going to go to about the center. Okay, now we're doing those cow lips. Okay, remember we're going to curve around, but we're going to stop about right here. We're going to make it a little more realistic instead of cartoonish. So we're going to stop right here. We're not going to pull it all the way to the side. All right, this one's going to come out, and we're going to go above that, and we're going to stop. All right, remember, this is the hardest part. We need 2 bumps. We're going to need 2 bumps on the side of the cow's face, because we have to place the eyes inside of right below the top bump. So we're going to do this in 2 steps. Okay, if we do it in 2 steps, we might mess up, and we really need it symmetrical. So we're just going to we're going to go up just a little bit and bump out. Okay, we're going to come to this side. We're going to go up just a little bit and make sure you bump out at about the same place. Okay, we're going to go up just a little and bump out. This is the cow's eyebrow bone. That is very important. We need that. So we are going to have to place the eye right below that, or it's going to look weird and it's not going to look like a cow. We're going to go up a little, bump out. Okay, now we're just going to close the little cow's head up. Just a little wiggle line because it's not perfect. Okay, the eyes. You are going to make sure you come right below the eyebrow bone. This is important. And you're going to curve in. Come right below that eyebrow bone and curve in. And you want these kind of big because we are also going to create a shadow inside the eyes to make it look like they're set back. All right, and then we're just going to curve up. And we're going to come over here and we're going to curve up. Okay. And we'll fill in the eyes when we do our black oil pastel. Okay, the ears. Let's go ahead and do those ears. Remember, very important. You have to come at the top of the head and curve down. And you have to make sure that you come right at the top of that eye and curve up. This is important too. If you do not place the ears where they're supposed to go, he's going to look weird and it's not going to look like a cow. Okay, we're going to curve down. We're going to come right at the top of that eye, right at the bottom of that eyebrow bone, and we're going to swing up. Okay, now let's add our detail. Remember, we're going to do a curved line in the ears. If you want to do the little Y, you can. That's just a little extra shadow. And then we will be doing little crisscross hairs, but you can do that with your oil pastel. But if you want to kind of draw them in just to remind you, so you don't forget, we need some little crisscrossed hairs in the ears. All right, we're going to do those two little curved lines down the center of the cow's nose. Remember, we want a couple up here, just straight. Doesn't have to be perfect. The lines do not have to be the same size. Remember, we're going to slant a couple over the eyeball. So maybe I want a longer one, maybe I want a smaller one here, maybe I want a smaller one there. We're just adding some shadows. All right, let's do that body. Remember, just by adding these two lines, we no longer have a floating cow head. We're going to add a body very simply. We're going to come behind the ear and just kind of wiggle a line off. We're going to come to about here on the cow's lips, and we're just going to wiggle a line off. Perfect. All right, now let's do those horns. All right, we're going to come up here. Those of you that want the bull, we're going to go ahead and do the horns. You're going to curve in this direction, and that's okay. They're coming off the page, and that's okay. We're going to curve in the opposite direction. And then girls that want the flowers, I can show you how to do, we'll do the flowers with the oil pastels. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to work on the sky. Now, because I've already done yellow and orange here, you already know what that looks like, so I am going to be doing blue and purple. Now, one thing you need to know when you're using oil pastels is that you always use your darker color first and you use your lighter color to blend. And because blue is darker than purple, we're going to actually do our blue first. So what you're going to do, and it's okay to actually not fill in all your spaces with this because we're going to go back with purple and we're going to blend in the blue. So I want you to just take your oil pastel, and we're just going to kind of color in kind of how a kindergartner would do it. You're not going to fill in all your spaces. You know how usually I tell you need to press with this, you need to fill in all your spaces with your oil pastel. We're not, because we're going to actually add some purple in between all of those spaces. It's going to make it look really cool and really realistic. You also want to make sure that you are using one direction. It is a sky. And skies are very uniform, lots of unity. So you want it to be going in one direction. So I'm not pressing real hard. Now your cow might be a little different. You might have more sky. That's perfectly fine. You're going to color all your background. Your cow is going to be your foreground. Your background is going to be the space behind the cow and the cow body. Oh, don't forget to do in between the horns. All right. Now I'm going to take my purple and I'm going to blend over the blue. And look how pretty that looks. And these are our cool colors. Cool colors. See how pretty that looks? One direction, and I'm just kind of filling in and blending the blue. Okay, and you're going to do the whole thing. You're going to do your whole sky. Don't forget to do in between the horns. I'm using one direction, and I'm just blending. Perfect. And then you can go back and play with that however you want. If you need to go back and fill in some spaces. So that's about what the cool color sky is going to look like. If you're using yellow and orange, you need to make sure you use the orange first because it is the darker color and you will blend with your yellow. Alright, so then what you're going to do is you're going to go back and you are going to trace your entire cow in black oil pastel. Do not forget to fill in the nostrils. when you do the cow's eyes, I want you to fill in, go ahead and fill in the entire eye, and I'm going to show you how we're going to create the reflective light. You're going to get a white oil pastel, and voila. So that's how you're going to create the reflective light in the cow. All right, I'm going to pause this and then show you what he looks like when he's done. Okay, so this is about what it's going to look like when you're done. Now yours will look much better because you will not have that white underneath showing through. So this is about what it's going to look like. Do not forget to trace every single thing you did in pencil. Don't forget to do the top of the head, the sides of the face. Do not forget to trace the entire cow in black. Now, those of you that want flowers, you're going to simply get a yellow or an orange to do the centers. Okay, so maybe I want a flower there, flower there. Maybe I want some orange centers. And just randomly do this. You do not want these all straight across the head. You want to kind of just randomly put these flowers. And then you're simply going to do a bunch of little W's around it, or just put little circles around different colors. And maybe you want some big flowers. And let's see. And you probably want to do these flowers before you trace an oil pastel. We're just going to add some of these flowers, and I'm going to show you something really cool we're going to do. Let's see. So let's see. Maybe I want purple here. Okay. And let me balance it out. I think I want one right in here. I think I want this one. I want this one really big. Right here. Okay. So I have some flowers, just kind of the impression of some flowers. And what you're going to do is you're going to take a green, and you're just going to wisp some green grass to make it look like there's some grass throughout, like a little bouquet. I'm just going to wisp some grass. Okay. And that's okay. It can go up into the sky. That's okay. And now I've added a little flower bouquet up in the cow's head. Now remember, if you do horns, do not do flowers. You're going to choose one or the other. If you're going to do flowers, your flowers, you'll have flowers. If you choose horns, you'll just have horns. Okay, so that is what your picture will look like about. Yours is going to be much better than mine because you're going to take your time. Okay, above all, have fun.